Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for June 20th, 2016. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We had quite a move in the previous week where we were looking for failed acceptance above the previous week's high. We were looking for a rotation back into 2040 to 2052, these two HVNs, and we got it. Once VPOC shifted up in the trading room, we knew that the down move was probably over, at least short term, as this thing looks to trade back and forth within the chop here of the HVN. So one thing I'm looking for early on is after such a big move here, we could have an impulse range from here to here that's now developed. We also have an intraday impulse range from here to here that's basically developed with a midpoint there. So we have several things to look for. I think early on, what I'll be looking for is how does price respond here between 2087s and 2090s, because any rejection there could bring price right back against the range. Anytime price gets from rejection back to acceptance, usually the tendency is to chop more around acceptance here. So if there's any failed range expansion up here, this thing could swing right back, and we could trade in a range throughout most of the week given the previous week's range. So we'll see if this leads to early weakness back downward. I think any pullback into the previous session's high could provide a little short-term bounce, but on the whole, any failure to hold above 2080 opens up a return back toward recent support between 2052 and 2055. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil had a significant push lower in the previous week. And then once price failed to see new lows, there was a major rally where price closed above the previous session's high. So that's an outside buy signal that usually develops here. You have a low below the previous low, a close above the previous high, and now you're seeing pullbacks defended with a push to new highs here. What we've seen so far is how price has traded in an expanding range here, and given the recent support, we could see price snap all the way back up to recent highs here and go toward above 52s, those recent highs. So we could be looking at more strength ahead. I think any pullback likely to be a buying opportunity. This is a key pivot in the charts right here that price is chopping around. I think if price closes above that level, we could be on our way to 52.50. All right, let's take a look here at gold. Gold saw a significant push to new highs. We were looking for a push beyond these prior highs given the slope of the trading range. We were looking for 1308 to 1320, somewhere in that zone. And if we saw any failed acceptance, we were going to look for a snapback. And so we saw that kind of play out. We saw price go up here in these highs, fail to hold, and then see a big range day. And right now there's a lot of absorption going on. There's absorption off the top end here, off of the 1299, 1300 zone. Bears are looking to defend off that level for a push downward. The downside targets would be 69.5, the midpoint of the key range, and the 38.5 level, the 1238.5 level. That's the CHVN, the composite VPOC right down there. So right now that's where bears are defending. Bulls are defending off of 1280 right now, several days in a row of defense off that zone, so you know that there's sell stops below it, more sell stops to the downside than there are buy stops above. So I think primarily right now bears are looking to defend pullbacks and absorb for a continuation lower, but above 1308 opens up a retest of highs. Lastly, let's take a look at the NQ here. The NQ has been fantastic in terms of identifying rejection points in the profile. We've had rejection down here that led to a nice move, a rejection up here that's helped us identify a move lower, and now we've had this significant rejection here, but price closed well below that level with bears defending off the 44.34s. So that's a significant level to watch right there. For the most part, after this recent push lower, we've seen prices hold below the LVN here with bears defending. So there are bears defending at this level, there's buy stops above it. On the downside here, you have bulls defending below the HVN here of 43.80s, and right there that implies that bulls are looking to squeeze back to the HVN above. So at least we have key levels to watch out for. We'll see which way we go. I think right now we're more inclined to chop both ways and trade within 43.50 to 44.40 basically until we see expansion from this range. Above this LVN opens up a move to 44.86 to 4,500. Failure to get above the LVN opens up a move back down toward recent support in the 42.75 to 4,300 level. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the week. Good luck and trade well.